mess with the younger me. All of the mistakes, all of the heartbreak, here's what I do differently. I'd live like I'm not scared.
Hi, my name is Claire Chapman. I'm the daughter of Tom and Lindy Chapman, and next year I will be attending University of Tulsa to study biological science and hopefully go to med school. Well, I'm not an actual member of United Methodist Church, but I've definitely been involved with it over the course of my life. I went to preschool here, and I've attended Vacation Bible School throughout the years, and just this January I started attending Christ for Life. So the church has definitely been an influence on my life. Honestly, my favorite memories go all the way back to preschool. I really loved preschool here. It's where I learned to love school. All my teachers were amazing. The playground was awesome. And I met some of my best friends at preschool here. So definitely, yeah, preschool. The way I plan to stay involved with the church and my faith in college, I plan on continuing to do daily devotional stuff in my own life and on my own time, and then also I really want to find some form of campus ministry group, whether that's some form of FCA or Young Life or something like that. And then also I really want to find another Sunday church, another just where I can ground myself and make sure that I still have that really strong base. So the biggest role model for my faith has been a woman at my church at First Baptist. Her name's Natalie Stevens, and she has just, every time I don't know what to do, she does. And every time I am at a loss with my faith or at a loss or I have questions, I know I can always turn to her, and she will just love on me and help me out. And so Natalie's been a great supporter. She's also a great role model, a great Christian woman, and just a great woman in general. And so, yeah, Natalie's great. The way the church has impacted my life, obviously the biggest one being that I'm saved, and I know that I don't have to worry about what happens in this life, because I know that God, I'm safe and sound for the next. But the church in my daily life is just kind of my foundation. It's a place where I know that it's always a constant. And I know that I'm loved in the church. I know that there are people who care about me in the church, and I know that there are people who want to see me do well, and that God wants to see me do well, and it gives me a great role model too. And yeah, my foundation. The church is my foundation. I'd really like to thank the United Methodist Church for all it has done for me over the course of my life. Even though I'm not a regular attendee, I still feel like a part of the family, and that's really important to me. And so I want to thank you guys and thank the church for still making me feel like I can be at home here. And also, I am really excited for the Honduras mission trip and to get to serve in that capacity. So thank you for the opportunity.
Hi, I'm Kyle Ross. I'm the son of Dan and Carrie Ross, and next year I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. I plan on attending a 4-year university. I started attending the United Methodist Church as soon as I was born, I guess. Apparently I was the baby and birthday party for Jesus, which I just learned moments ago. But my parents, I've always been involved with the church with them, and then in 7th grade through confirmation, I really invested my faith in the church and kind of took responsibility for myself. I've been involved in Christ for Life with the youth group here since I was in middle school, 6th grade. And even before that, I was at, every Wednesday night I'd come to dinner and go to God Squad. I have several favorite memories. I have a lot of friends that go to church here. One year, we went on a mission trip to Maine, and I remember we flew out there, so we didn't drive a bus, and so we had to rent these 15-passenger vans. And one night, we went on like a road trip. We were trying to find a moose. And so we drove like 2 hours north. We were already in Maine, so we were pretty close to the Canadian border. And we did not see a single moose, and we stopped at a gas station before we came back. And me and Ty Fig bought a packet of fried chicken from a gas station, and there was like 12 pieces of fried chicken, and we ate all the fried chicken on the 2-hour bus ride home, and the entire bus ride was filled with us really smelly fried chicken and me and Ty burping. So that was that. The church has definitely impacted my life just because of Jesus Christ. That's huge. You know, I've accepted him into my life, and my life would probably be much different if I wasn't a Christian. And the biggest part of that is the church here, and keeping me in line with my faith and bringing me to my faith, really. And so it's impacted me definitely. I spend a lot of time here. A lot of my friends grow up in this church, and a lot of the people in my class, we have a big senior class, and we're all really good friends, and we know each other really well. And so we've kind of grown up together in the church. Next year, while I'm in college, to help develop my faith and stay focused on God, I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure where I'm going to go yet, but wherever I go, I plan on attending a church, finding a church that's right for me, and a church that fits me well and that challenges me, and a group of friends that hopefully are along the same maturity as I am in their faith, and we can help each other grow in Jesus Christ. My biggest role model in my faith, I probably can't say that I have a single person that's the biggest role model in my faith. Obviously, both my parents are great, and they've been a huge impact on my life. Both my grandparents as well. Sandy and Bernard Ross have been a huge impact on my life. I had then just leaders in the church as well. I remember growing up with Karen Henton as the God Squad group leader whenever I was little, and she's been great. And then also just recently, Dustin Buell, not recent, I say recently, he's been here for a couple years, several years, I guess, all the time that I've been in high school. And he's been a really great leader and teacher, and he's brought me a lot closer to Jesus. I would like to thank the United Methodist Church here in Chillicothe for all that they've done for me and my family, and for supporting me all throughout school. And they've been just a great cornerstone for my life, and I feel like I'm at home here, and this is my church family, and I want to thank everybody here that's been a part of it. And that's a wrap.
I'm Amy Exam, and my plans for next year are to go to Central Methodist in Fayette, Missouri. I plan to major in elementary education, and I sooner or later possibly minor in graphic design. Along with that, I got a softball scholarship, so I'll be playing one of my favorite sports as well while I'm going through college. I first started coming to the United Methodist Church when I was in 3rd grade. Funny story behind that, I just saw a sign out in someone's yard, and I decided as a little 3rd grader to walk in one day, sit in the front row, and go to church. And then after that, I've been involved in everything a young child can get into a church: youth group, VBS, God Squad, anything, you name it. One of my favorite memories through church would be just actually going on the mission trips and being with my peers and having a great time and serving God. And I feel like those are the memories I will never forget and I'll always cherish through my whole life. The church did a lot for me through my life. I grew up in a different family, and then I also had plenty of church families here who helped support me through everything here at church, and I am really, really proud of that. Because of them, they do a really great job of what they do, and I'm glad to call this my home church. The most influential people in my life through the church would have to be Sue and Scott Bachman. They have been there for me for everything, especially Sue. She's been my guardian, as well as Scott, my mentor, my Y pal. And without them, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, and I am really grateful for them, and I love them so much. Don't miss a moment in your life at church. Always go to church. Oh my goodness, yes, I have a funny story from a mission trip. We were in Boston, and we were staying that after we watched the, baseball game, and we were at our Bible study, and Dustin decided to eat a cockroach, and it was great. It was funny because Dustin has a thing with eating bugs, and it was pretty funny, but it was a great time there too. Another experience I went through is when my first mission trip in New Orleans, we went out for our fun day, and you know, not many kids have to make many choices, but after we got done eating, I saw a whole bunch of people who kind of look, homeless. They didn't have anything. They barely had any clothes on at that. And I had extra scraps of food. I had actually a lot left, and I decided to give my food away to them along with another person as well. And I felt like God was in me that day, and I was really proud of myself that I did something good for someone else who really needed it. When I'm in college next year, I plan on attending the school's United Methodist Church. I've actually contacted them, and they've contacted me about things that they do through Columbia, and I plan on just continuing my faith with God there, why I'm there, and then when I come back on the holidays, I'll be here again.
My name is Marissa Cber. I'm the daughter of Corey and Stacy Cber. I go to Chillicothe High School, and next year I will be attending Missouri University of Science and Technology to study environmental engineering. I've been involved with the Chillicothe United Methodist Church for a long time. I am a Chillicothe UMC preschool graduate, and then I went to God Squad here. My parents are members of the Pleasant Grove Methodist Church, but they brought my brother and I over here 7th grade so that we could attend confirmation class and the youth group here. My favorite memory related to the church has to be my very first mission trip to New Orleans my freshman year. That trip, it was my first mission trip, and there was just something special about the place and the people. And I think that the nights when we would sit around in a circle and talk about where we'd seen God that day, those moments were when I really began to connect to God in a personal way and develop my own personal relationship with God. And so that's really always stuck in my memory. The church has impacted my life, ever since I was a little kid, and it's always been a place where I could go and be around other people that shared my faith and where I could be completely open about it. And it was also a place that had lots of people and lots of examples for me to, watch and model how they were living. So it's been an impact on, who I am and how I live my life, and my morals and values have been, because of some of the people that I have met here at the church. Next year, when I'm living in Rolla, I plan to, find a Methodist church down there that fits with me, that I can attend on Sundays that I'm down there. And I also hope to get involved in some of the campus ministry. I know they have lots of different Christian groups on campus that I'm researching, and lots of different service-based groups too that I'd like to get involved with and continue to do mission work with. The most influential people in my spiritual growth have, first of all, been my parents. When our family has gone through rough times, they have worked it out together and worked it out with my brother and I, and just showed us how to really turn to God and use our faith as, a support during rough times.
I am Lane Bonder, son of Chris and Janet Bonder, and I'm a senior at Chillicothe High School. And next year I plan on attending the University of Missouri-Columbia and majoring in ag business. I've been involved in the United Methodist Church since I was little. I've always gone here. This has always been like my home church. And growing up, I was involved in God Squad and like boys group on Sunday and Wednesday. And then I've always been in the youth group, whether middle school youth group or high school youth group, and I've gone on trips such as WOW and the mission trips. One of my favorite memories is our mission trip my freshman year down to New Orleans, Louisiana. It was just such a great group of people, and it was such a fun trip going to a place like that that's like so cultured and has all these different types of people. The church has always been kind of like my home for me, always there, kind of like a steady place for me. And it's kind of helped me find new friends and introduce me to a lot of new people that I wouldn't have met in other situations. In college, I plan on going to a church, finding a church in Columbia, and through our flight training trips with Dustin and the other people, we've gone and visited some churches in Columbia, and I hope that'll just help me find one that fits me best. One of my biggest role models through my faith has been Mike Hibner. He was my mentor through confirmation, and every Sunday watching him sing up there and just let it all out and having no fear and not afraid to just show how much he loves God and just all that has just been huge for me and just shown me the way I should live. Another funny moment from a mission trip was, I think, my 8th grade year. There was a snake that we found in the girls' room, or that the girls found in the girls' room on the mission trip. And I had a rubber snake with me, and Kyle Ross is deathly afraid of snakes. And so I took the rubber snake and I snuck up behind him and played a little prank on him, and it ended up with me on the ground and Kyle running away.
My name is Margo Young, and I'm the daughter of Bill and Inger Young. Next fall, I plan to attend Mizzou in Columbia. I'm planning to go to the business school, and that's all the plans I have for now. I've been a part of this church ever since I can remember. When I was born, I was baptized soon after as a baby, and then I grew up going to God Squad on Wednesdays after school and being a part of the Christmas play, Birthday Party for Jesus. I also got to participate in confirmation class and become confirmed into the church in 7th grade, and now I participate in the youth projects and youth trips and youth group and Sunday school on Sunday mornings. So, favorite memories of the church, I've got quite a few of them. One of them would be when we were younger. We were doing the Birthday Party for Jesus play that we have every Christmas, as most of you guys know. And each year there's a Mary and a Joseph and a baby. Well, one year all of the boys already had parts whenever we were giving everybody their roles, and we still needed a Joseph to go with Mary and Jesus. Well, I was the tallest girl, so I ended up being Joseph that year in the Christmas pageant. So looking back at the pictures, all the girls are dressed up as cute little angels, and then there's me dressed up as Joseph. This past summer on our high school mission trip, as most of you know, we went to North Dakota. And while we were there, we stayed on an Indian reservation and served those living there. Towards the end of the week, we were done with most of the jobs they had given us, so we went to the powwow ground and we were helping take down an open roof area, so we had to tear the roof down. The roof was pretty old and not in good shape, so as we were taking it down, we had to scrape the shingles off and then tear the boards down. So what we did is some of us got on top and some people stayed on bottom. So I was one of the people that were on top, and I was with Stacy Cber and Shelly Hayen, and our job was to scrape the shingles off as everybody else followed us and hit the boards to take them all down so we could finish. So for the morning, the project went pretty well. The roof was going down fine, and there were weak spots every once in a while, but we would just work around them and we would catch them before we got too close. In the afternoon, there was a weak spot in the roof, and we noticed it, and so we were just gonna scrape around it and stay out of the way. So I thought it was fine, not thinking. I got a little distracted talking to the people I was working on the roof with, and I was just scraping the shingles and talking to Mrs. Cber, and all of a sudden, I was laying on the ground 8 feet below where I had just been working, so I literally fell through the roof this summer while trying to scrape the shingles off. Luckily, I landed just on a grass patch, so I was fine, but that is one of my memories of the church I will never forget, is falling through a roof on a mission trip. This church has had an incredible impact on me. It has made a huge difference in my life and the person I've become. I love coming to church on Sundays and getting to talk to everyone, talking to everyone of all ages, and just catching up with everyone how our week is going. It's made a huge impact on me, the relationships that I've made. Everybody here is so welcoming and considerate and very supportive. So I really enjoy just talking to everyone and knowing that they care about me. Next year, when in Columbia, I plan to attend a church called The Crossing. I went there this fall with Dustin and the seniors that attend this church, and it was really great. It was a big church, so it was a little bit different than what we have here, but I think it'll be really great and really help me strengthen my relationship with Christ. There are so many good role models we have here at our church, and everybody here is so amazing. I already mentioned the Sunday school teachers, but somebody else I really look up to is Dustin Buell. He's our youth leader here, as most of you know, and he's an amazing guy. He's incredibly Christ-like, and he'll do anything for anyone, and he's so dependable, and he really cares about each and every one of us, and he would do anything we ever need. He's really made a huge impact on my relationship with Christ, and I'm so thankful that he has been here while I've been in school. I would just like to thank the church for everything you guys have done. You have really helped me build my relationship with Christ, and I really enjoy coming here and talking to everyone, and everyone making me feel so comfortable and being so supportive in everything I do. I wouldn't have wanted to grow up in any other church.
I'm Brett Clark, and I'm the son of Tony and Ronnie Clark. And next year I plan to attend Missouri State University in Springfield, and I plan to study marketing with emphasis in advertising and promotion. Well, I've been attending the church since I was very little. I attended the preschool here, and then once I got older, I was involved with God Squad and came to Wednesday night dinners every week. And then I became active in Christ for Life youth group throughout middle school, attending mission trips and going on the WOW trips, and helping out with any other community service that Christ for Life has done. One of my favorite memories is in 6th grade we had a Bible study with Daniel Rikina and Kellen Ferguson. And we just meet every week, and Daniel made it a really relaxed environment where we could learn about God, but still in a fun way, and really just grow our faith to new heights. The church has impacted my life throughout many different cases, because first off, the church is where I've met most of my friends that I really like to hang out with today. And it's also helped me go through some decision making, like when there's problems that are going on at school or with friends. Like I can always turn back to God and just get my Bible and figure out the best way to get through those problems. When I first visited Missouri State University, we found that there was a Methodist church not too far from the campus. And so we intentionally went on a Saturday tour and then stayed the night. And we attended a church service there Sunday morning. And I really liked the people there, and it was a really welcoming environment, such as the church we have here in Chillicothe. I have had a lot of spiritual role models throughout my life. Like everyone in my family is Christian and has taught me the rights from wrongs and do's and don'ts in being a Christian. And even my church leaders like Karen Hinton, Kendra Frederickson, and Dustin Buell. But one person that stands out is at an FCA camp I went to. Dan Britton, the vice president of FCA, was the main speaker that year. And he really gave a lot of new concepts and new ideas for how to be a good Christian and truly walk the life like Jesus would want us to walk. I also do have another favorite memory. It was on my 6th grade mission trip. We were sleeping in a church around the Branson-Springfield area, and somehow a snake got into Alicia Kiefer's sleeping bag, and she went to get to bed that night. She found it, and all of us guys in the next room heard the girl start screaming. And the next thing I know, Dale was carrying a 5-gallon bucket very briskly out the door. And yeah, it was just a really funny memory. I would just really like to thank the church for helping me grow throughout my life and become the person I am today. And just giving me a very warm, welcoming invite. And the church has also given me plenty of new mentors that I never would have had without the church. So I'd just like to thank each and every person in the congregation that's helped me get where I am today.
My name is Amanda Waits. My parents are Steve and Annette Waits. For next year after I graduate, I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do, but I guess we'll just have to see where it goes from there. I'm not exactly sure when I started coming to church, but I know I did preschool here. I started coming to God Squad and then did confirmation and youth group and mission trips and all of that through the church. For confirmation, when Kendra was still a youth leader, we went to Nashville and we went to the Parthenon, and no one really wanted to go inside of it because they weren't interested in that Greek mythology stuff. But me and Brett were pretty interested in going to it, so they went ahead and went in anyways, and we went and saw that statue, and that was pretty cool. And so that's pretty much my favorite memory, probably. A few years ago, I found out about this band named Skillet, and for youth group, we went and saw them in concert, and they said some things, and I thought that was pretty neat. So from then on, I just kind of got hooked onto the bands and fell in love with their music and the way they talk about God. And being involved in youth group has got me to go places like Maine and North Dakota that I wouldn't necessarily go and do the things that I did when I went there. My parents have always helped me when I don't necessarily want to go to church. They've encouraged me to go to church, and that's helped me want to go to church more and be a better person and just do the right things. I want to thank my youth leaders, both present and past, and pastors, both present and past too, and all the church family I've had to help me go through hard times and get me to learn more about God and Jesus. And help me to realize what's right and wrong.
My name is Brett Young. I'm son of Darren and Julie Young. My plans for next year are to attend the University of Missouri and pursue some type of degree in engineering. I started attending this church, probably would be youth group, at the beginning of this year. And I've also gone to the early morning Bible studies for a couple of years. And I go to the Catholic church in Chillicothe on Sunday mornings. Favorite memory here would probably be the senior training and just going to visit the churches like in Kansas City and Columbia. Just going to youth group on Sunday nights helps a lot with my faith, and I really enjoy it and thankful for it. This was something that helped out, the senior training helped out with a lot, and we went to Columbia and visited the Crossing Church, and I really liked that church, and I think I'll probably go there next year. Dustin Buell has been very influential to my faith and my life. I've never got a chance to go on a mission trip with the church, and this summer will be my first mission trip, and I'm really looking forward to it.
My name is Kelly Westfall, and I'm the daughter of Robin Westfall and Brian Westfall. And next year I'm attending the University of Kansas. Go Jayhawks! I'm actually a relatively new member to the United Methodist Church. My mom and I became members earlier this winter, I think either in December or January. But I started kind of regularly going to the youth group during the summer, in July and August. I started going to the youth group then, and then my mom and I started coming on Sundays. And even though I'm a relatively new member, I felt like I've grown up in this church already. So I've been involved. I go to the youth group on Sunday nights, and then on Sundays, of course. And then this summer I'm going to Honduras with the senior group, and I also help teach middle school Sunday school. One thing that I do love about one thing that the United Methodist Church does is I loved doing the Ash Wednesday service. It's a really interesting service, and some churches don't even do it, but I just feel like it's just a cool event that we do, and it's just an awesome learning thing that it's different from everything else, I feel like. The church has impacted my life that even though I'm a relatively new member, I just feel like I get a ton of support from everybody here, and it's nice knowing that not only does Christ have my back, but the church has my back, and I can always turn to them support if I ever need any help. During college, I've actually talked with my roommate, and her and I are both going to be attending a Methodist church down there, and we're both going to also join the Methodist church on campus ministry down at KU. So I'm super excited about that and excited to meet new friends and grow in my Christian faith with new college friends at KU. The biggest role model for my faith is actually a really good friend of mine. Her name is Josie Reeder. She actually graduated from Chillicothe last year, and now she's attending Northwest up in Maryville. Her and I have known each other for a long time. We were on the tennis team together throughout my whole high school career, except for this year, of course, because she graduated. But she's just, I feel like she's a teenage girl that I can relate to easily, and she has a really strong Christian faith that is really easy for me to look up to, and I think she's been a big role model for me because I can just relate to her. She can relate to me. She can give me the advice that's relevant to me, and she's just someone that I can easily talk to and turn to. So I would just like to thank United Methodist Church that even though I'm a new member, just thank you for always welcoming me into open arms and just supporting me and loving me, and thank you.
Hi, I'm Riley Rashi. My parents are Randy and Terry Rashi, and next year I plan to attend Missouri Western State University. I started my time in the church when I started preschool here, and then I went to Girl Scouts here, and then we decided to become members of the church. And then I joined God Squad and Crest for Life, and so I've just kind of kept in touch with the church the whole time. My favorite memory with the church is when we went to Louisiana on our mission trip, going into my freshman year, and it was just the bonds that I made on that trip with all the people and everything I experienced that is probably my favorite memory. The church has really impacted me here lately with my four-wheeler accident, and when Dustin came and like surprise visited, and Pastor John Rice called me and to check up on me, and it just really meant a lot to know that everybody was thinking about me and praying for me. And next year I plan to roommate with Rebecca Pitchford, and she attends Life Point Church, and so together we are going to go attend a church together and keep our faith going through college. I don't think it's like someone who has influenced me the most with the church. I don't think it is a specific person. I think it's my whole class and the whole youth group as a whole has definitely impacted me. Another good memory is our confirmation trip, 8th grade year. We went to this horse ranch thing, and we got these like plastic toy horses, and Ian Smith thought for some reason we were getting gummy horses, and so he was really upset when we got these plastic horses, and he was just so upset he ate the head off of one, and he was expecting food, not plastic. I will never forget that.
I'm Wagner Chapman. I'm a senior at Chillicothe High School, and my parents are Tom and Lindy Chapman. Next year I'm going to go to college to one of two places. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to study business wherever that is, and I may be law school after that, but that could all change a few times between now and then, so we'll just see. My history with the United Methodist Church started off fairly accidental. I ended up going to the youth group when I was in 8th grade because I heard there was free ice cream at an end of the year party. So I kind of just ate the ice cream, and then I didn't, didn't have any for a while. But then I ended up going on the mission trip, and after my 8th grade year, and I hadn't really gone to any of the Christ for Life middle school Sunday night evenings youth group events that year. And I got invited to, I heard about this mission trip and my friends were going on it, and it was at a point where I wasn't really very good about attending my church. I just didn't have a lot of friends that were going on the mission trips, and I wanted to go on one, so I decided to go to St. Louis with the church, and ever since then it was a great experience, and that was Dustin Buell's first year as the youth pastor here, and he really just did a great job, and that's where it all started, I guess. My favorite memory related to the United Methodist Church, would probably be I went on the Maine mission trip in 2014, and Kyle Ross, we've been friends for a long time, but we were actually we were doing a lot of grunt work that mission trip, tearing shingles off houses and doing building, and I would say that there was one day when this guy from the camp where we were working, he came up to me and said, "Hey, we've got like 27 toilets that just have to be smashed." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He says, "We got to throw them in this ditch and just smash them." And I was like, "That is the coolest thing I've ever heard of. Count me in." So Kyle and I just went and smashed toilets for like 27 of them for like an hour and a half. And that sounds kind of abstract, I'm sure, but I promise you it was really fun. So that was probably my favorite memory associated with the church. How has the church impacted my life throughout high school? I would say that being a part of this youth group at this church has probably been one of the biggest supporting things for me in high school so far. It's just been a really like a grounding thing for me. I wasn't, towards the end of middle school, I kind of started fading out of my other youth group, and that's fine. It was just I didn't have a lot of friends that went there, but and I was kind of in between in this purgatory of who I was going to be with, and then I ended up actually being a part of the youth group here, and I wish I'd been more consistent to start out with, but it's been great. It's been probably the only thing the only way I've had a relationship with Christ throughout high school, and with some of the things that have happened some of the things I've been through, I would say that it has kind of saved me and been the best best club or best extracurricular, best activity that I could have been a part of, because I think that without the leadership of, Dustin as my youth pastor and the relationships I've created with the kids here, I think that if that hadn't happened, I would be in a completely different place right now, and I just think that it's been a really good opportunity for me, and I have no regrets at all. So next year while I'm in college, it's going to be hard because I'm probably going to go to a big university, but I'm hoping to find a youth group similar in size. I'll start off with the church and then hopefully find a youth group similar in size to the one I am in for Christ for Life at the United Methodist Church. I really think that the small group has been good, and whatever church I end up going to, I'm sure that they'll have some opportunities for me to be a part of fellowship with some students, and I think that'll be great. So the person who has been the most influential in my faith and my walk with Christ is probably Dustin Buell. Dustin and I have been through a lot together, and I've had some moments with Dustin that he's been really that rock, and he's been helped me get through some stuff. And I just think that Dustin is one of the, if you haven't met Dustin, he's one of the, just a great leader and a great guy too. He's been a good friend to me too. I know that he has to be a leader too, but he's just been a good friend, and I really look up to him in the fact that he seems to kind of have it figured out and has helped me how to be a high schooler, and also how to have fun, but also how to have a good relationship with Christ. And Dustin's the man. So that's my answer. I would also say that a funny story that I have from one of the mission trips is also in Maine. This is kind of like a big deal too, that I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. But so before that mission trip, I didn't really know Ty Fig, and we're sitting on the way back from, I don't know where we were. Oh, we'd gone to see Canada, like just to see it. We didn't go into Canada, but just where we could see it. And we were on our way back, and we hit a grocery store on the way back. And Dustin said, just get some food, hurry up, we got to get back in the van. So Ty buys this giant just bag of this disgusting looking fried chicken. And I mean, it was probably 2 gallons worth of fried chicken. And, I was like, who is this kid and why does he have a giant bag of fried chicken? So he just grabs this thing and he's like, you want some fried chicken? And I was like, sure. So we started eating it, and I have been best friends with Ty ever since then. So I don't know if that's the start of a friendship, but he's definitely one of my best friends, and I think that's as good of a start to a friendship as it gets. So I just want to thank the United Methodist Church for, even though I'm not technically a member, maybe, I don't even know how that works, but maybe I'm not a member of this church. I have been attending the youth group here since I was in middle school, the end of 8th grade actually, and I would just like to thank you all for allowing me to be a part of this youth group, and paying for me to go on mission trips, and just be a part of the youth group. It's been really good, so just thank you.
My name is Erin Campbell. My parents are Mike and Angie Boone and the late Jarrett Campbell. And next year I will be attending the University of Missouri in Columbia and majoring in pre-physical therapy. I've grown up in the church. I was baptized here when I was younger, but it hasn't been until the last couple of years that I've really started to get involved in the church and attend every Sunday. I go to youth group and have gone on the mission trips for the past 3 years. All of my favorite memories have been on our mission trips. One that stands out in my mind the most, not necessarily my favorite, but one that I'll never forget, is when we were in Maine. We went lobster fishing, and we went out on this boat into the ocean, and when we would bait the traps, we would have these fish that we would put in there, and all these birds would fly around the boat, wanting the fish that we took out of the traps and that we were putting back in there. And I remember saying, oh my gosh, it would be so funny if somebody got pooped on. And not 5 minutes later, I was the one who got pooped on on the head. And of course everybody thought it was so funny. Margo Young and Mrs. Cber were the ones who were troopers and cleaned the bird poop out of my hair. And so the rest of the time I was referred to as Aaron number 2 on that trip. Aaron Gillen was also on that mission trip. But it didn't necessarily occur to me, you know, like the correlation between number 2 and bird poop until we were actually talking about the trip on Youth Sunday. And Aaron Gillen was actually telling the story, and that's when it actually registered in my mind, you know, bird poop, Aaron number 2. So, yeah. The church has impacted my life in many ways. The people of the church have always been the ones, you know, who you can ask to pray for you when you're going through a hard time, or are always interested in my FFA events or sporting events, you know, always asking what I'm doing next, you know, when our next basketball game was. So they're just always very interested in what I was doing and is always, you know, there for me when I need them to be. I hope next year, you know, to continue to develop my faith, I hope to find a church in Columbia that I can go to every Sunday, you know, with my friends that I meet in college. The people who I would consider to be the most influential in terms of my faith would, you know, just be the people that I go to youth group with and my friends in my youth group. We've been on multiple mission trips together, and we've just been there with each other, you know, while we've developed our faith and strengthened our relationship with God, and just really become closer with Christ.
Hi, I'm Grace Vener, daughter of Dan and Christina Vener. Next year I'll be attending Wellesley College in Boston, Massachusetts, and I will plan to pursue a degree in pre-med with a minor in music. I've been involved with the United Methodist Church since birth, basically. When I was born, I was actually named after my grandfather's church he was preaching at the time, Grace United Methodist Church, because he was a Methodist preacher there. And since then, my family has kept me in the church, and I've been a member. I was a member in middle schools when I was put into the church. And I participated in mission trips and CCYM and annual conference. My favorite memory from being in the United Methodist Church was actually on my first mission trip with Dustin Buell. And on this mission trip, I decided to climb a really large tree, and I actually got stuck at the very top of it. And on the way down, Dustin tried to catch me, and he was trying to prevent the inevitable, which was that I was gonna fall out of a tree. So on the way down, I kind of jumped out and landed on him in one swift motion.
I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, I only knew you for like not so long. The church has impacted my life by basically raising me. Everyone in the church has had a role in me becoming the person who I am today. Especially in middle school, I was part of the adult chancel choir because I couldn't do band and choir in middle school. And during that time, I was so honored to be in the choir, and I really felt like they treated me as an equal. Looking back on it now, I was probably just some dorky kid in the choir, but I really felt loved and cared for, and they made me feel like my opinions mattered, and they really sheltered me for my transition to middle school and to high school. And those members of the choir and then countless other people in the church have helped me to become the person I am today. When I go on to college, I plan to find a United Methodist Church near my college. I'm not actually sure which one I'll be attending in the area because I've only been to Boston twice so far, so I still need to figure out where everything is. But I plan to find a church, and then I also have found a youth group on my campus that is run by students that I'm going to try out and see if their views reflect mine and see if that's a good fit for me. This is really ooey gooey, but the biggest role models in my faith have been my mom and dad. They've always been there to drag me out of bed on Sunday mornings, even when that was really hard and involved some yelling, but they've always been there to get me to church and youth group and make sure I went on mission trips. And then not only that, but they also made sure that I understood why I was going there and what I was learning, and we would always talk about the sermons after church, and they've always been there for me and showed me how important my faith was and how influential that is in my life, and I'm really happy that I have them. I just wanted to say thank you to the entire church for helping me through this journey and getting me to where I am today and helping me through all of that. So thank you very much.
My name is Zach Foyt. I am the son of Kelly and Larry Foyt, and I plan on attending Missouri Western next year, and I will major in finance. I've attended the United Methodist Church here in Chillicothe since I moved here after I finished 3rd grade. My mom made it a point for us to always come to church on Sunday morning, and even when that was tough, she still got us out of bed and had us come. Over the years, I've gone to our confirmation trip. I've been on the WOW trip. I've attended our youth group that we have on Sunday evenings, and I've gone to God Squad since, well, once that started up and all the way through that too. My favorite overall memory would be the confirmation trip. When we went to Kansas City, we just went to probably 5 different churches of all denominations. We got to go to a water park and spend a lot of time just with each other, and there was a lot of good messages along throughout that entire trip, and it was a lot of fun. I feel like the church has had a really big impact on me growing up and my entire life. For all the people that surround you here, they're all super nice. Like I said earlier, a lot of my best friends today I've grown up with through the church. It's always a place where you can relax and know that everybody here supports you and nobody will judge you on anything or whatever. You're all friends and you're all here for the same reason. When I go off to college, I plan to come home probably so often to go to church on Sunday with my parents. I'll try to find an FCA chapter if there is one through Missouri Western, and if not, I'll attend a Methodist church in St. Joe. I would say my mom has been the biggest impact on my life and also on my church life growing up here in the church. She's made it a priority for our family to be here on Sunday morning. I really can't thank her enough for making us all realize what we want to do as far as the church goes and how we want to live our lives. I think there are several people that I feel I should thank for everything that I've been offered throughout the church growing up. Pastor John Rice has done a great job. He's very supportive of everybody, very friendly every Sunday morning. Dustin Beal's done a great job with all of our students growing up. He's amazing. My parents, the whole church congregation has been very welcoming, and it's just one big family here. It's a pretty cool thing to be a part of, and it's a lot of fun to come here.